I'm Yang Yu, President and CEO of Maipl Therapeutics. We are developing a non-hormonal drug for endometriosis. As you know, the problem, endometriosis, is being recognized as a women's health crisis. And this is reflected by some number that's showing here. Average wait time for diagnosis is 8 to 10 years. Loss of productivity, annual economic loss in the US alone is close to 200 billion. Last but not least, the infertility. That's another major issue. Now, endometriosis is inflicted in more than 1 in 10 women. And many believe that this number is underestimated due to underreporting and misdiagnosis. Worldwide, the number could approach more than 176 billion. Now, in this room, most know what endometriosis is. I will give a quick reminder. It is the lining of a uterus known as endometrium. It grows in the pelvic and abdominal organs outside the uterus. As a result, patients experienced a variety of symptoms such as painful periods, severe pelvic cramping, heavy bleeding, and so on. There's a long list of common symptoms. Today, there's no cure. Current therapeutic treatment options are limited. When a patient experiences pain due to suspected endometriosis, she would try NSAIDs, which don't work for most people. Oral contraceptives does next. It usually takes several months before experiencing any effect. So this period goes on until a definitive diagnosis that usually made in a number of years through a procedure known as laparoscopy. Even after diagnosis is made, the options are still limited. Shown here are what's known as the GnRH antagonist and hysterectomy. The removal of the uterus certainly is not attractive. Neither does what about the GnRH antagonist? These are relatively new medications that have been recently approved. There were 2 approved, one marketed by AbbVie and a second by Pfizer. These orally administered drugs, they are hormonal treatments. As a result, they are not to be used over 2 years. That's the FDA guideline. They're not to be used in patients trying to conceive. Due to these reasons, their sales have been disappointing. Taking elagolix as an example, their 2021 sales was 143 million, and that may seem a lot. And compared to what their projected sale, that's only 1/10. Was supposed to reach 1.35 billion. So today, endometriosis patients are still waiting, some will say desperately, for a new treatment option. And that's where we come in. Our solution is to target menstrual pain, not the menstrual cycle. That meant that what we see, as you see the chart, endometriosis-related pain can be divided by 3 classes, 3 types of pain. Most severe, having the most impact in the patient's life are so-called dysmenorrhea or menstrual pain. Towards alleviating this symptom, you look at existing drugs, NSAIDs. If I can point to the table, what you see is that in terms of menstrual pain, that's the last from the right column. Relieving menstrual pain, NSAIDs are not effective. Contraception works in some women, in some it don't. GnRH antagonists are effective. However, as I mentioned, because this is a hormonal therapy, it stops the menstrual cycle. This causes a variety of issues. You'll not be able to conceive, cannot be used for long term. There are a number of issues related to loss of estrogen. The same issue it also carries the contraceptive are also hormonal. They also stop the menstrual cycle. So what we're developing, this MA7107, is a non-hormonal drug, but would effectively relieve menstrual pain. It doesn't affect the menstrual cycle. Moreover, we believe this is a drug that is safe for long-term use. So how can we do this? What's our secret weapon? The key word is it's called, remember this, selective FP antagonists. So as you can see, that when the pain in endometriosis patients, the menstrual pain caused by a chemical known as prostaglandin, specifically prostaglandin F2 alpha. In this scenario, what you see shooting from the helicopter are selective FP antagonists. These are potent, selective, and safe, so specifically treat the symptom. Whereas in comparison, the NSAIDs are not selective. So they are weak with regard to F2 alpha, and they are also safety risks. Maipl Therapeutics is the only company that has a known FP antagonist that's ready for clinical development. In comparison with the previous efforts by other companies, here listed Organon and Bayer, our molecule, the Maipl molecule MA7107, is potent. As see in the first column, these numbers are the AB. These are indicative of the in vivo efficacy. The lower number, the better. So as you can see, the MA707 is much better than what's already been tested in the past. Our molecule also has an excellent PK profile and is highly selective. So if we can get this drug into a market, if this is approved, it will provide patients with a new non-hormonal therapeutic option that is superior efficacy. It will be safer than NSAIDs. It would not interfere from conceiving. Because its safety, we expect it can be used long-term until the patient reaches menopause. Additionally, if we can achieve a first-line use, it will provide some other benefits, such as no more waiting for 10 years diagnosis, removes the risk associated with surgical procedures, and drastically expand the patient population. And you may ask, when can we have this drug? Well, we know that drug discovery and development is a risky and a long process. What we have is we have had a head start. We have a preclinical candidate at this stage. And we have the company Ferring Pharmaceutical to thank. Ferring has started this project in 2017. So now it's already 6 years that the most risk part of this process has already been taken over by Ferring. So now we already have a preclinical candidate. Our goal is to achieve IND clearance from FDA in a year or a year and a half. And in 3 to 4 years, we want to achieve phase 2 of clinical proof of concept. By then, we'll identify a partner, such as Organon, AbbVie, and so on. We'll identify partners, so they'll carry on the registration and the marketing. That would be our exit strategy. This plan is being carried out by a uniquely talented team. All the 5 individuals in this team are Ferring employees. So these are individuals that we really handpicked from Ferring that has been had hands-on discovering this molecule. In our audience is Dr. Nori Kasi, who is the chemist who has been responsible to identify this very challenging task of identifying the selective antagonist. Our team is being augmented by a world-class scientific advisory board. Some may recognize Darryl Shep, who has been a neuroscience discovery and clinical head in Merck and previously at Eli Lilly. We also had fortunate to recruit Frank Tu, who was a board-certified OBGYN at the University of Chicago. His lab developed the animal model that we are using to test pain. For the fund request, we are requesting $2 million pre-seed today for carry out some pain model study, formulation PK, and exploratory toxicology study. With this $2 million, we expect that we will have a fully characterized one or more development-ready candidates that sufficiently facilitate design of the necessary IND-enabling studies. And as you know, the IND-enabling studies, these are all outsourced to CRO or CDMOs. So these are regulatory stage. As soon as we have this molecule characterized, as far as the risk, we are in much better shape. Just to remind you that we are developing a first-in-class endometriosis. If we are successful, it has a potential to change the treatment landscape for endometriosis and address unmet medical needs in women's health. Looking at the Maipl team, we have 3 unique advantages. We are targeting well-known mechanism, the prostaglandin F2 pain that is well connected. Secondly, we have an exceptional molecule. Thirdly, we have a uniquely qualified team. So with that, I thank you again for your attention.